Welcome to this edition of Collier Recap. I'm Troy Miller. This is a recap of the June 10th Board of County Commissioners meeting. The board began the day by celebrating 3 proclamations. First, commissioners honored Don Hunter for his 33-year career of dedicated service to the residents and visitors of Collier County. Hunter served as Collier County Sheriff for 20 years, and after leaving that position, he served as the Marco Island Chief of Police until June 2nd of this year. Commissioners Georgia Hiller and Donna Fiala presented the proclamation.
We are your biggest fan club, and so we wanted to jointly present you with this proclamation on behalf of the board and tell you how much we appreciate your service for all these years. We're going to miss you, but we hope to see you a lot around the county in the near future. So with that, congratulations.
Don's legacy will endure long after his retirement, and the Board of County Commissioners and the people of Collier County are grateful for his devoted service, and we wish Don and his wife Melissa happiness. Next up, the board declared June 8th through June 14th as Collier County's Code Enforcement Officers Appreciation Week. Code enforcement officers provide for the safety, health, and welfare of the citizens in this community through the enforcement of building, zoning, housing, fire safety, environmental, and other codes. Code Enforcement Director Jeff Wright thanked the board and the code staff.
We have 30 code enforcement officers in the county, and 5 are supervisors, 25 investigators, and within that group we have specialists in environmental, property maintenance, vehicle for hire, synthetic drugs, and a whole bunch of other things that we do with interagency cooperation with the sheriff. We do community cleanups, and they have a hands-on role and a positive contribution to our community.
The last proclamation of the day honored the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force for their great investigative work and dedicated service to Collier County. Commissioner Georgia Hiller presented the proclamation.
As a series of home invasion robberies took place in Collier County and the city of Naples with distinct similarities to each other, and whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force was established to focus solely on investigating these home invasion robberies, and whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force is comprised of members of the Collier County Sheriff's Office, the Naples Police Department, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Marco Island Police Department, and the FBI. And whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force spent countless hours developing and pursuing leads, reviewing evidence, and conducting surveillance in an effort to identify those individuals responsible for these home invasion robberies. And whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force developed and implemented a plan to reduce the likelihood of future home invasion robberies through the use of visible patrols and relevant crime prevention education in communities across Collier County and the city of Naples. And whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force fielded and investigated numerous tips from the community. And whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force initiated communications with other law enforcement agencies in Florida and Texas, where similar home invasions have occurred, to share information in an effort to use every resource possible to solve these crimes and apprehend those responsible. And whereas the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force developed suspects that led to the arrest of 4 suspects who had been charged in connection with a home invasion in Windermere and an attempted home invasion in Orange County, and remain suspects in home invasions that took place in Collier County and the city of Naples and in Texas. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Collier County, Florida, that the board does hereby commend the members of the Collier-Naples Regional Home Invasion Task Force for their great investigative work and dedicated service to Collier County.
The Collier County Business of the Month Award for June was awarded to Golden Tech. Founded in 2008, Golden Tech is an IT management solutions provider based in Collier County, specializing in business continuity and disaster recovery network and IT infrastructure, VoIP phone systems, and cloud computing solutions. Their mission is to pursue excellence in making technology work for people. Their most significant charitable event is the annual Do Good event. Each year, Golden Tech selects a nonprofit to support by raising funds and building awareness. Golden Tech is currently in the planning stages of the 2014 Do Good event, and will be raising funds to support a Southwest Florida no-kill animal shelter. The proclamation was accepted by Golden Tech owner Greg Skasny. Tuesday's agenda originally included item 10B, which was a reconsideration of a previous board decision directing the county attorney to attend the consent order administrative hearing with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and Dan A. Hughes Mining. The consent order stopped operations at the Collier Hogan well for improper and unauthorized activity. At the May 24th BCC meeting, commissioners changed their direction to the county attorney. Instead of attending the administrative hearing, the board instructed the county attorney to file a lawsuit seeking the revocation of the mining permit for Dan A. Hughes Mining. Chairman Tom Henning had put the item on the agenda because he had been communicating with the FDEP in an attempt to have them attend a special BCC meeting where questions could be answered in the sunshine and not in a closed-door meeting. The talks fell apart at the 11th hour with FDEP refusing to attend a meeting in Collier County. The chairman requested that the item be removed from that agenda and that legal action move forward.
I believe that this board should consider making a formal written request to DEP and allow them to deny a meeting down here. I think they owe us a meeting, and I think we should make a formal request. And I would like to see them publicly deny us that opportunity.
I received a phone call yesterday from Blake Gable from Baron Collier Enterprises. He also called DEP, and they also told him, no, we're not interested in coming to Collier County. And he also expressed what they told him is we've been down to Collier County enough on this issue. So they have refused not only to the Board of Commissioners through me, but they also refused an interest party being the landowner where this well is.
That I wholeheartedly support your desire to remove the item that you had recommended for the reasons that you have stated. It appears that the only way we're going to get representatives of the DEP to talk with us about these issues is to do it through the legal process, and we will get, in fact, depositions, I presume, from all of those people, and we will have a public dialogue concerning that, and there's no way they can get around it. So I think you're right to withdraw the item and let us proceed. This is a very important issue. It's important to our citizens. There's no single entity which will suffer more if this program turns out to be a disaster than Collier, the Collier Corporation. I mean, they certainly do not want to be seen as responsible for a catastrophic impact to our drinking water supply, and I think it would serve all interests if we had a public airing of this and reached some a conclusion that makes sense and clarify issues where there's a lot of confusion and misinformation.
Commissioners voted to remove the item and reaffirm the instructions to file legal action with the county attorney. Several members of the public had come to speak on the item. Most stayed and spoke under public comment. The board heard a recommendation to approve and authorize the Pelican Bay Services Division to prepare, sign, and submit a nationwide permit for the maintenance dredging of Clam Pass due to concerns about the critical condition of the pass, and make a finding that this project promotes tourism. While the board did approve the project, the focus turned to the future of the pass.
We're going to have a long-term plan that is going to be able to keep this open so that we don't have to spend $350,000 every year and a half to keep it open. So I think the only thing we can do is go ahead and, you know, I support the recommendation to go ahead and prepare to do what we need to do, but we need to get this 10-year permit in place, and then in order to figure out what is going to work, we're going to have to at least do the same thing twice. Every time we go in and maintain it, we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then we say we're not getting results, but I don't think that gives you any predictability. because different things have been tried over different periods of time at different times of the year and so on and so forth. So, you know, I believe that engineering will ultimately take us to where we need to go. We may need some Army Corps input at some point if this needs to be done on an annual basis, because I don't think even they want to see that occurring. So, you know, I'm going to support the agenda item, but we need to work on a longer-term plan so we can resolve some of it, certainly.
The total estimated cost of the project is $378,400. Work could begin as soon as this fall, pending permitting and design. Sand dredge from the past has typically been placed on nearby beaches. The board voted unanimously to name the new community center that is under construction at Eagle Lakes Community Park the Donna Fiala Community Center. Mr. Zenon Santos sponsored the request and brought forward a petition with over 1,200 signatures in support. The new center is scheduled to be completed in early 2015. Commissioners approved the water, wastewater, irrigation quality water, and bulk potable water rate study and directed the county manager or designee to prepare a rate resolution to bring back to the Collier County Board of Commissioners for approval to advertise. Staff indicated to the board water rates have remained the same since October 2010, while the Consumer Price Index has risen every year. Rates will catch up annually over the next 3 years. The proposed water and wastewater rates for FY 2015 would increase the utility bill for a typical customer from $83.05 to $90.53, approximately 4% below the surveyed Florida Utilities average rate of $93.96. The rate change will need to be approved by the board in a future meeting. Collier County Parks and Recreation Department's operations have historically been funded from a variety of sources, including user program and special event fees, grants and sponsorships, rental and lease fees, as well as general fund revenues. The financing of recreation services has relied on a balance between these user fees and contributions from the general fund. Parks and Recreation Director Barry Williams presented the board with some tweaks to the current parks user fees.
But what we're looking to do is to maintain the share of funds that users pay for our operations, and historically this has been 40%. There are 4 areas that I wanted to go over with you today that are significant changes and get your approval for. And again, these changes will be effective October 1st this year if approved.
Some of the changes include raising boat launch permits annual fees from $75 to $100 for motorized and $50 for non-motorized vessels, lowering the fitness center's monthly pass from $35 to $25, lower the annual pass from $300 to $190, and lower the spouse or additional family members pass from $165 to $100, and lowering the student pass from $125 to $114, and remove the 3-month pass, as well as offer a 3-hour ski party event at Sugden Park for $400. The board approved the fee changes and requested additional information on the possibility of changing the park's financial structure to an enterprise model. Eastern Golden Gate Estates is one step closer to a major roadway improvement project. The board unanimously approved the adoption 6 resolutions authorizing the condemnation of that land and those perpetual easements interest necessary for the construction of roadway, drainage, and utility improvements required for the expansion of Golden Gate Boulevard from east of Wilson Boulevard to 20th Street East. The estimated fiscal impact is $4,848,200. We will keep you posted as this project progresses. Under advertised public hearings, the board approved a portion of the 2013 Cycle 1 of Growth Management Plan amendments concerning the Buckley and Naples Reserve projects located near the North Collier Regional Library on Orange Blossom Drive and Airport Pulling Road. One of the major changes is the dropping of the requirement for a mixed use of both commercial and residential use. Commissioners also approved an ordinance amending the Collier County Land Development Code, changing the zoning classification of the Buckley mixed-use planned unit development to allow a maximum of 239 residential units, with no requirement for workforce housing and up to a maximum of 162,750 square feet of gross floor space of retail, office, and services use. The changes will now be sent to the state for final approval. On June 11th, the Naples Museum hosted filmmaker and director, Naples resident Casey Schulberg, as he discussed the 1958 classic film Wind Across the Everglades that was produced by his father Stuart Schulberg and written by his uncle Bud Schulberg. Casey Schulberg also discussed his new 2014 movie A Dream Last Night, which is scheduled to be filmed in Everglades City. We caught up with Mr. Schulberg before the showing of Wind Across the Everglades.
I'm a filmmaker, third-generation filmmaker. My grandfather was one of the founders of Paramount, ran it for 10 years. My father and my uncle were all in the business, my grandmother. So we're all been in the business. My daughter's now in the business. So obviously, now that I'm down here, I want to make movies here. So this was an opportunity. I've got a movie I'm getting prepared to shoot down here later this year. A movie called A Dream Last Night, set out in the Everglades with Seminoles. It's a wonderful story. And so the museum contacted me to show a movie my father made in Everglades City in 1957. So that's what we're showing tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about the new movie. I'm going to talk about that movie. I was 5 on the set, and some of the anecdotes around the filming of that movie, and and go from there.
The packed house enjoyed the free showing of Wind Across the Everglades and was treated to a reception and Q&A with the filmmakers. That's all for this edition of Collier Recap, your recap of Collier County Board of County Commissioners meeting. Now, if you want to review all or part of any county commission meeting, visit colliergov.net and click on the video archive section. Once in the archive section, select the meeting you want to review. For BCC meetings, you can use the convenient drop-down menu to select and jump to any item you are interested in. For additional information on Collier County government, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/CollierGov. You can also check out videos about county government services at the Collier Gov YouTube channel. I'm Troy Miller. As we leave you, we'll take a look back at the 70th anniversary commemoration of D-Day at the Collier County Depot Museum.
It's been 70 years since Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, but the memory is still fresh for many Collier County veterans. Those that came to the Naples Depot Museum to honor America's D-Day veterans heard chilling narratives of that harrowing day, a reminder of what so many men gave up on June 6, 1944.
Of course, we should never forget the sacrifices and what our veterans had to go through to achieve the liberty and the freedoms that we enjoy today. You know, it doesn't come free. It costs many lives, and we can never forget that.
Guests had the privilege of exploring authentic World War II memorabilia, from a Sherman tank and other military vehicles to Nazi uniforms and World War II reenactors in full Army attire. The message was clear. June 6, 1944, D-Day, is a day that won't soon be forgotten.
Today was a very special day, remembering those who died to save the Jews, Europe, and our grandchildren born today of these great men and women because of what happened in Normandy on June the 6th, 1944, D-Day.
The audience was all ears as veterans recounted their experiences 70 years ago on the beaches of Normandy. It's hard to believe that such an accomplishment was possible.
I myself have visited the beaches of Normandy, and I actually walked out into the waters off of Normandy at Omaha Beach and looked back up the beach to see what these men had to conquer, and it seemed impossible, absolutely impossible, yet they persevered and they hung on and they continued the charge, and at the end of that longest day, they had achieved their objective.
As the Naples High School JROTC Color Guard played taps to close the ceremony, the audience stood to honor the D-Day veterans. Daniel Christenberry for Collier Focus.
You're watching Collier Television, bringing government home.